What are the potential worst-case scenarios involving solar flares? What are the potential worst-case scenarios involving solar flares? Solar flares are powerful bursts of radiation from the sun. When these flares are directed toward Earth, they can lead to serious consequences. One of the biggest concerns is when a solar flare is accompanied by a coronal mass ejection, which is a massive releases of solar wind and magnetic fields. This combination can disrupt our daily lives and critical infrastructure. One major risk is to the electrical power grid. Solar flares and coronal mass ejections can create geomagnetically induced currents in power lines. These currents can overload and damage high-voltage transformers, which are essential for electricity distribution. Replacing these transformers is costly and time-consuming. If key transformers fail, it could lead to widespread blackouts lasting weeks or even months. During such outages, hospitals, water treatment facilities, and communication networks would struggle to operate, impacting public health and safety. Satellites are also at risk during solar flare events. The radiation from solar flares can damage satellite electronics, causing malfunctions or even complete failures. This disruption affects telecommunications, internet connectivity, weather forecasting, and military operations. Increased solar activity can heat the upper atmosphere of Earth, causing it to expand. This expansion increases drag on satellites in low Earth orbit, potentially shortening their operational lifespan. If satellites fail, it could lead to communication blackouts and GPS navigation failures, which are critical for aviation, maritime operations, and everyday smartphone use. Radio communications, especially those using high-frequency bands, can experience blackouts. This is particularly concerning for aircraft flying over oceans and polar regions, where navigation and safety could be compromised. Additionally, power surges from solar storms might trigger false alarms and failures in emergency systems managing the power grid. The societal impact of a severe solar flare event could be significant. A simultaneous failure of power, communication, transportation, and water supply systems could create a cascade of challenges. This would affect national security, emergency response, and economic stability. If such an event occurred during extreme weather like winter, the consequences could be even worse. Populations could face life-threatening conditions without heating or communication. From a political viewpoint, these risks highlight the need for strong preparedness and resilience strategies. It is essential to invest in hardening the electrical grid, improving satellite shielding, and developing rapid response plans. International cooperation on space weather monitoring is also important to mitigate potential damage. Policymakers must weigh the costs of these measures against the potential economic and human costs of a major solar storm event. In summary, the worst-case scenarios involving solar flares include prolonged blackouts, widespread satellite failures, disruptions to critical services, and challenges to national security and public safety. These scenarios show the importance of proactive measures to protect our infrastructure and maintain societal functions in the face of solar threats.